So this is stage 4 of my TR3b hovering over permanent magnets project. As you can see, I've sculptured the foam with a hot knife to try and make it smooth and shaped, but it's terrible stuff to work with. So it's got little holes in it, and to get the centre of gravity just right, I had to use a bit of blue tack on the corner there. But once it's painted black, it should look okay. And once I paint the board a colour, you can see it's shaped now. It's not just a square, a squarish triangle. I would straight sides, sort of try to give it some sort of shape to it, so it looks a wee bit aerodynamic. Yeah, it's just hovering there, as you can see. And now I've got hot glue instead of blue tack holding the main magnets. So that's 12 by 12, is it? What's the measurements I had on there? 11 centimeters that direction. What was that one there? 10.9 apart. Speaker magnets. Simple, really. And plus I've got my 132 scale army trucks, helicopters that I can use for decoration around it. Although I couldn't get that size men to stand around. But it'll be alright. I'll give it some decoration. We got a Humvee with a 50 caliber on top, so that could go there. I've got one similar Humvee, I suppose it's all terrain as well, with some, I don't know what they are, RPG launchers. Yeah, it could be coming in there to line up. Then I've got tanks. I don't know if they're American or not, they look American. It's from China, so you never know. It could be Russians, but it does look American. And then you got that kind of truck too, with the, I don't know what that is on top, what you call that type of gun. Same as a tank turret, I suppose. So they didn't cost me too much, I don't think. I think it was like $10 US for that whole set. But as you can see, my boards are not big enough for all of them. But I didn't want the board too big, so some of them might have to be selective. Here for the present, what you could call their flying triangle for the president. What they call the DC jet. Can't remember what it's called now. Something 1, isn't it? Anyway, there's a helicopter. What's that one? A Huey. Just a standard one you'd get in Vietnam, is it? And then you got this one here. That's one of the killer ones, isn't it? What do you call it? With the machine guns and rocket launchers on it. So they could be packed around too. But yeah, I think they're slightly still too big for the scale that I wanted. but that's the smallest I can get. So if the men were that big to fit in here, you can see to scale, probably just fit inside of your little tiny men. So really it needs to be like doubled the height. Or put a dome in the middle maybe. But it'll do. Unless I can get smaller accessories, which that were the smallest I could get. I think they were 132. For people to play the war games. So yeah, it should be okay, I think, just like that. And of course this comes off out the magnetic field, you see. And you can see it's magnets because it gets attracted, which is a bit of a pain when you mess up. See, you can see it's attracted to that. So you have to make sure it's on the other side of the field. Oh, I have to angle the TV camera up. It's a bit hard to film it and get it in place. You can see how strong the magnets are. So yeah, it normally would come down, and on top of that now it's just a wee bit too low, I think. But as you can see, it just sits there in place. And that would be like a charging post. Charges up the onboard batteries. Unless it uses a fuel cell. Well, it could be supplying new gas, I guess, hydrogen. Because the fuel cell uses hydrogen, doesn't it? So yeah, I suppose that would work. A gas line. But Obama would have, Biden would have closed down the pipeline. Because this looks very Texas, doesn't it? No more gas, no more TR3bs in the sky. So yeah, you can see it bounces around quite happily in the magnetic field, unless you do it too much. Crash onto the ground. You can see now it's stuck on the magnets. So yeah, you want to come down. Hook up and avoid the magnets. But it's meant to be like a desktop model. And there we go. Trying to get the camera in view as I'm placing it. It's just a knit and needle, as you know in previous episodes. And it's got a little groove for the screw head there, so you can sort of lock it into place with some blue tack on there. And if I got the balance right, it should stay there forever. Well, it'll gradually rotate with the Earth's field, right? And eventually it will attract to the magnets. But I've been testing out it in the early prototypes, and months later it's still hovering. So as long as you get the balance right, position of the magnets right, there you go. You've got a clever little desktop toy that can detach, fly around. So the next stage is to paint that white black and the base a colour. So I'll do that during the week or next week. Time is a factor, as you know. I'm so busy. So I'll just go around it for one last time. This helicopter's a bit close together, you see. But you probably could even land that one on top, right? Let's see if I can do it. If I can get the balance right. It should be able to withstand a lot of weight. Just a matter of getting the centre of gravity. Almost. There you go. Helicopter on top. All hovering above magnets. You can see that the helicopter is too big though. Unless the pilots lay on their bellies. Well, you never know. Maybe they do on the small ones. The single fighter ones. But, yeah. That will have to do. It would be nicer once I paint it. Maybe I can paint some grey tubes underneath and vents, because that's what people see. These are metal. They're meant to be anyway, but they're very tinny metal. Kind of feels like plastic, but they're meant to be die cast. They're not super heavy like the old die casts. I don't know what they're made from. Probably tin. But they do the job. You've seen the models with the UFO crashes, the Roswell one. That sort of got me the idea of decorating the outside, making it look like a war thing or high security thing. So you could put the cars around on the outside if you wanted to. Once it's painted, right, you could put the choppers down here. And it could be like going up there, something like that, you see. That would be like a concrete base. A bit like those blimps that were on those round concrete slabs. But there's something else you could probably do. Create a little miniature blimp. Have some cotton and it's actually hovering above on a bit of string with helium. Unless you can get it here, probably should be able to. There's lots of ideas. Could make different size ships. You see, it's bouncing around. So that's the problem, is these are metal. There's definitely a fine line and balance. As you saw it working, crash. Oh no. But I wanted to see how long, if I got the balance right overnight, see if it falls down. Well, I'm quite proud of it actually, it's not too bad. Consider I'm not really a model maker. I think it'll look better once I paint it. So that's phase 5, is it? Anyway, I'll leave it there, say good night, well good day or whatever. And I will probably do a live show later today.